The very world we know took an unexpected turn this year. This year has awakened me, has awakened us all, has awakened us to truths we can no longer ignore. Women all over the world are hurting. Women all over the world need to be heard. So join me as I embark on a journey that will lead me into conversations with women all over the world on issues that women of this generation face on a global scale. Hi, Aavriti. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? You look really pretty.
Thank you. You as well. I didn't realize this, but we were actually matching today, so I love that.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you so much for being here. It's really such an honor. It's been a lot of going back and forth, so I'm so happy that we can finally sit here and do this. It's so exciting.
It is. I was also really looking forward to talking to you, having this conversation. And I'm really glad, that you're doing this. It's so many important issues that you're talking about and involving so many other people around the world. They're also coming up and voicing their opinions. So it's really great.
Yeah, it's been interesting. All of this year, especially with COVID. I mean, the whole year has been pretty hard from January. COVID wasn't like what made it difficult. I feel that it's been a struggle and a challenge all throughout, but I feel that with everything that's going on, if we don't stop and pause to analyze what we're doing, what's going on in our lives, and maybe change so that way we can progress and adapt to what's going on, then we're not really, doing anything in life. We should really take
That's very true.
we should all be taking this time to analyze, adapt, and change our. And one of the things that I wanted to do is really just change my platform to just talk about issues that I'm just so passionate about. And so one of the issues that we're gonna talk about today is one of the things that I really care about. So, but before we go into that, let's start with a little icebreaker so that the audience can get to know more about India through your eyes. Okay. So, what is your favorite traditional dish?
Oh God, so many people ask me this question, and it's so hard to choose because India is a land of multicultural. Multicultural means multiple cuisines.
Love Indian food. So just tell me which one.
What do you like? Like, you should tell me what's your favorite thing.
So it's funny because I used to be obsessed with chicken masala, but I went pescatarian. So now I have to find an alternative that I can actually eat with fish and or some sort of vegetable. But there's a milk tea that you guys have. Is it
Yeah, masala chai.
Bombay? What is it called?
Masala chai.
Masala chai. Oh my, so good. And the
I
bread.
live with. I can't live a day without it.
That's awesome. No, I actually love Indian food. But tell me which one's yours because I could start naming a bunch.
So, I love South Indian cuisine a lot. So it's. Do you know the dish dosa?
Dosa.
Have you heard of it?
I've
So
heard.
it's like a crepe. It's like a crepe made with rice and pulses batter. It's like a crepe, very thin crepe. It's had with curry and multiple dips. So I really enjoy that. And then there is street food in India. Like, nobody can say no to that. I hope if you visit India ever, you have to have pani puri. Have you heard of that?
Anybody? No.
It's like round things, and you eat with spicy water and mashed potatoes. It's it sounds very weird, a very
No.
weird combination. It's so tasty.
I love spicy food, so it's perfect. That's why I will go to India and I will eat everything as long as it's not meat. We're okay. Okay, so tell us a famous Indian saying.
So you know what, Bollywood is has become a big part of our culture. Bollywood, as in the Hindi film industry, and the dialogues has come into our lingo. So one of the very famous sayings, the dialogues that I really love, is "Dosti mein no sorry, no thank you," which is no sorry, no thank you in friendships.
Oh, okay. I can say that. That was not that hard. Wait, dosi may, no
No
sorry,
sorry,
no sorry,
no thank you.
no thank you. Okay, I'll say
It's
that.
very sweet. I find it very sweet. You know, that's like friendships without expectations.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I love that. I feel like that's how friendships should be. You should go into a friendship not having any expectations, just genuinely being a good friend and being loving and caring. So I like that. Okay. What is a popular hobby or fun activity to do in India?
Playing cricket.
Really?
Cricket is like a religion to us. So each and every kid will know about cricket. There is like nobody who doesn't know about cricket or is a fan of cricket. So you can imagine that cricketers are like the real celebrities. So
Never.
it's like have you heard of IPL, Indian Premier League?
Yes. 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 Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that is another festival. Like people are crazy about it. They're like picking, and now what happens in that? Like international players are also they're divided in separate teams. So we get to know other players as well, not just our own the players from our own country, but players from different countries as well. So you'll find some people who will be bigger fans of the players who are from outside our country.
That's hilarious. Oh my, I mean, I feel like that's in every country. I feel like every country's pretty competitive with their sports and they'll just like bash on anybody else. So that's perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is your favorite city in India and why?
Favorite city. So, few years ago, I visited Coorg. It's a hill station, small hill station in the state of Karnataka, and it's called Scotland of India. So it's beautiful. The scenic beauty there is like wow, like clear blue skies and lush green. And there's so many things to do. Like there are forts and temples, and it's famous for its coffee plantation, coffee and tea plantation. So you visit there, and there are like so many things to do. I visited there, like I couldn't finish the things that I wanted to do. I feel like I need to visit there one more time.
How far do you live from there?
It's quite far. It's quite far. So I live in like central India, and it's in South India,
Okay.
south of India. So I like if I travel by flight, I'm not really sure actually how we would go there. I visited this. I was living with my sister, and she was living that time in South India only. So we took a road trip. It was a 10-hour road trip.
So India is so big. It's impressive of how much land you guys have and how much space it takes. So I can only imagine how much time it takes to travel from city to city. So but it's so much fun. Have so I wanted to ask you because I love Bollywood movies. I love Bollywood, just anything. Is there like specific city? Is there a specific city in is Bollywood a city or am I making that up?
No, no, no. It's like how Hollywood is.
It's
It's
kind of
the
like Hollywood. Okay.
industry. Yeah.
Well,
So
'cause-
Bollywood is Hindi film industry.
okay. Yeah, because Hollywood has like I guess they have like Hollywood Hills. So I didn't know if like Bollywood has like their own city or their own street called that. Yeah.
So it's like mostly the movie stars you'll find them in Mumbai.
Hmm.
You know the city Mumbai, right? So yeah, you'll find mostly all the film stars living there. All the shooting, production, everything happens there. So it's the main hub of Bollywood, you can say.
It's crazy because it feels like you guys have this whole other like worlds of fame and fortune with Bollywood and Bollywood stars. It's incredible, but When I go to India, I want to learn all the Bollywood dances. I want to go in the streets and like learn how to do all the dances like they do in the movie. It's probably just in the movies that happens. So I'm just gonna make it happen on my own, I guess. Like break out into a dance in the middle of the street.
Yeah.
Yeah, my head lives in a movie. So what is your favorite part about being an Indian woman?
Okay, so the favorite part would be, so like in India, the family heirlooms, especially like the jewelry and the recipe and the very authentic saris, are passed on from generation to generation.
Mm-hmm.
So you can imagine the all the heirlooms that I'm going to get from my mother, or she might have got from her mother or mother-in-law. So they date back a long time. So they are very authentic, and the kind of work probably you might not be able to see now. And even if you do, it's going to be hella expensive.
Yeah.
So that is something I really enjoy, like uh, getting the possession of family heirlooms that is going to be passed on from generations.
That's amazing. Yeah. And I love culture for that because I feel like each culture has its own um, kind of way of expressing love and family. And that's definitely a great way to express how Indians do it and the Indian culture way of doing it. So thank you for sharing.
And especially, you know what, like the traditional outfit sari. So it's like there's different sari from almost every state, and different way of draping it, different embroidery and the material that is used. So it's like so much fashion and culture even in that one outfit.
And yeah, that it goes back to my image of like me walking down the streets of Mumbai dancing to Bollywood with like layers of just like pink chiffon and orange and all these different outfits. I love that because I've seen some of your pictures too with your traditional outfit and all these different layers. It's beautiful. It's so elegant too. So yeah.
Oh, thank you.
So we're actually going to go ahead and watch a little video on the topic that we're going to get into today. So come back to us.
हमारे गांव में जो लड़कियां हैं वो मतलब 10th के बाद नहीं पढ़ती है क्योंकि हमारे यहाँ पे स्कूल नहीं है 10th के आगे मतलब बाहर पढ़ने के लिए जाता था कम से कम 5 किलोमीटर तक जाना पड़ता था तो वो लड़कियां जा नहीं पाती थी उनके मम्मी पापा मना कर देते थे मेरे मम्मी पापा ने भी छुड़ा दी थी छोड़नी पड़ी मुझे भी हमारे गांव में ये मीटिंगें होती थी उसको मैं अटेंड नहीं करती थी तो फिर एक दिन मैंने मीटिंग अटेंड की तो मैंने अच्छा लगा मुझे ये मीटिंगें अटेंड करके हमने एक संगठन बनाया है उसके बाद हमने संघर्ष करके 12th तक एक स्कूल बनाया है एक बार तो जाके सर को बोला कि सर हमें यहाँ पे स्कूल बन सकता है कि सर को आराम से बन सकता है हमारे यहाँ पे पहले कागज ऑर्डर आया था लेकिन गांव वालों ने किसी से सुनी नहीं
So as you can see in the video, education is a big part of it's one of the biggest issues that are obviously in India right now that the Indians and girls in India are faced with. Obviously it's an issue for both genders, but I feel that girls are definitely they get less of an advantage when it comes to education. And I've seen this being an issue, not just in India, but in many parts of the world where maybe some parts in some countries may be less developed as far as education. And it ends up being that the women are the least to get first priority when it comes to those education rights. So I found some shocking statistics about what is actually going on, and hopefully we can shed some light on the issues, and then you can just talk about it and give us more information. So obviously the Indian government has expressed concern over the education and has definitely had some progress with bringing more education over the years. However, obviously when it comes to females, in India, they have the lowest literacy rates in all of Asia. So compared to all of Asia, Indian women or girls have the lowest in that scale. While the country has made significant progress, obviously in recent years, it continues to be home to 313 million illiterate people, and 59% of those are actually women. And female literacy stands at 65% compared to 82% of the males. So that's a really, really big number right there in skew. And estimates have shown that for every 100 girls in the rural areas, only one will complete the 12th grade, and almost 40% of the girls drop out before they even reach the 5th grade. And I know that this is something that me and you have spoken about before. So tell us about, you know, your history with working with schools and your mom and all of that.
So I would like to start by saying that I guess it's not just in India, but a lot of places where women are seen as that they're supposed to be, or they're the ones who are supposed to take care of the family, and that their position is in the kitchen, or they're the ones to, or they are supposed to bring children into the world, take care of them, and the man is supposed to go out, work, and earn for the family. So that is the kind of concept or notion that was quite deep inside the minds of people living around in the country. And that is why it never really occurred to them that how important education for women is. Like if you educate a woman, she's not only, like, you're not educating one person, but she is going to look after the education of her children as well, because she's setting an example of how you lead an independent life, or what is important to you, what is not important to you. The values she has is the same thing she's going to pass on to her children, right? So that is why I think, you know, you see this disparity in the statistics. Mm-hmm. But I know for a fact that since our independence, the government of India has taken some really good initiatives. Like since the independence of India, government has taken really good initiatives that are targeted for different women in different sectors, so that, you know, for like to prevent, to improve the child sex ratio, that Beti Bachao and Beti Padhao, so that there is no disparity in men and women, the ratio of men and women in India, like then for their education as well. So like I know this because when my mother is a principal of a school where underprivileged girls come, like it's focused on their education. So whenever in like 10th standard and 12th standard, we have boards. This is a central examination scheme. So if you come in the merit list, or rather I should say, if you score 90% or more, actually 85% or more, so the state government awards you with some cash prize and a laptop. So there is a huge incentive for the girl to go forward with her studies. Now, when you go back with something that big, your parents are interested, they will let you, study, go forward. So there is that, instills a need for the girls to study, show interest, and build a life for themselves. I know it's hard. Like India, it's a huge country. Just we were discussing right now. It's a huge country. So micromanaging becomes difficult. That's like a tedious task. Mm-hmm. So here I would say comes the role of different individuals, NGOs or organizations who would want to take up the task of working for the society, or locating areas where you need where you can see that there is a need to provide or give education to girls. Yeah. Like I also work for this organization called Robin Hood Army. Now this organization is actually their main battle is against hunger, but they have two more initiatives. Like they have like separately, the sister organization, or actually it's under their umbrella, that they provide some vocational training to women. and education to both girls and boys, little girls and boys who are, from the probably from the slums, I should say. So I have also went there. I know that it's important for them. It's actually a task to bring them, to make them sit down and make them learn to read and write. And I feel one of that the psyche of the people from lower strata is that they think if we are spending on someone's, like, education becomes an expense for them. Are you getting me? So I think that might be sending this person to work somewhere will gain them some income.
Mm-hmm.
So working on that is also another aspect.
And do you see that kind of like in the video, the girl, she wanted to get a higher education, but her family kind of was the one kind of telling her, you have to stay home, you have home responsibilities, this is what a woman should be doing. Even though there are these incentives and there are these methods to reach out to those kids, do you think there's a big cultural issue, or maybe there's like a family issue with maybe allowing the kids to even step into a school system?
I think it's a mix of family and a cultural issue, because for a fact, I've known that girls from really modest families, from the parents might not be able to afford a lot, they take loans and everything, and they support their girls, and they reach heights. They are in the armed forces or government jobs. But if the parents, if they are not in the support, no matter what, if they're like the most well-off family in the world, if they don't want, it becomes a hurdle. So then it comes to the girl, how much she can do.
Yeah.
So, if you are from a well-off family, you can do it all by yourself. But if you're not, then it's a huge obstacle for you to overcome.
Yeah.
So it's both. And like we discussed, that it has been a kind of a notion about women, like a stereotype, you should say, that it runs around all over the world. Like, I saw your interview where how women are discussed not for her ability, but how they're pretty, and so, and what like men are praised for their abilities, right? Like the person smart or intelligent. So that is something weirdly not expected of girls. I don't know, like that this person can be smart, intelligent, or really charismatic, a really good speaker or leader. So that is something that runs deep in roots and has effect on different levels differently.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the biggest problems that we face, not just in India, but in just so many parts of the world. It starts with allowing the women, giving them the opportunity to actually do what they want to do in life, to give them that confidence. But because there's already so many obstacles that they have to face, oh, well, you're a woman, you should be expected to be home, you should expect to have kids and do all these things, and they don't want you to, they don't expect women to get to the level that they're getting to now. And so I feel that now that we're starting to see more women in leadership, women are actually starting to stand up and actually are wanting to progress and make a change and move forward, because you're starting to see so many women in leadership that sets the example. But what's happening is that there's still those challenges are still there. And so now it's like a self-esteem thing. Oh, maybe she did it, but why can't I? And so we, the girls will reflect on themselves and think they're just not capable, or they're just not worthy, or they can't do it. But it's not that at all. That same woman that got to the position that she got to had the same type of obstacles, maybe different, maybe they look different, but obstacles nonetheless. And so in that interview that you watched, one of the things that I was, kind of expressing is that we need to change the way that we see women culturally. I think we need to understand that women are not just, you know, meant to bear children or be, you know, at the home. But women are so capable of just so much. We have so much strength. We can bear through a lot of pain, but still be intelligent and caring and loving, all these different things at the same time. And so I feel that if we tap into that, and if girls understand that, if they actually know what power they have, they will go and go over every obstacle. They don't, it doesn't matter. Let me do it because I know I can.
Yeah, we are really powerful. We just are made to believe that we can't, or we are not enough.
Yep.
Or we just need a whole lot of other things to help us to do something, but it's not.
Yeah.
We can, like, we just can.
Mm-hmm. And another issue that was kind of in my mind as I was studying up for our interview and kind of researching, there's a big issue as well with mental health. Obviously not just in India, but so many different parts of the world. Mental health is it's a taboo topic because of social stigma. People don't really talk about it. We don't address it enough. I think a lot of people walk through life not knowing that they have, you know, some sort of mental illness or something that needs to get addressed. And so we walk around in life ignoring the signs, ignoring these things because we don't understand it. We think everybody should be normal and everybody should act a certain way, but that's not the reality for everyone. And so I saw that in India, there's high volume of people with mental illnesses, and especially women. And so I wanted to know if there's some sort of correlation between the lack of education and the high numbers in women in India with mental illnesses.
So yeah, like only correlation that I can find between the rates of illiteracy and the mental health would be, I think, as from a young age, we are taught that we, as women, we are supposed to take care of others before ourselves. So we tend to put others' needs before us, and our interests and our needs takes a back seat. So we don't even realize when we are doing that, and hence our mental health, our need to take care of our emotions, our mind, our well-being, it takes a back seat as well.
Yep.
So I think that can be one of the reasons, you know, why you might see that specifically in women it is bad, because of this reason. But like if you see in a very general view, it is because of the lack of awareness. Because people don't understand mental health. There's so many myths about mental health. Like mental health is not just one disease. It's like it comprises of so many disorders like anxiety, depression, eating disorders, personality disorders. Personality disorders, like they're one of the most complex ones. And people, there are like many researchers still going on to understand that. And you're very true, like when you said that so many times it happens that a person might be going through something, but there is lack of awareness, or the person is not coming face to face with his or her emotions. Yeah. So they don't realize what's wrong with them. Mm-hmm. They don't come out because, you know, they don't want to hear someone saying that what's wrong with you, or realize that there's something wrong with them.
Yeah.
Or they need to be like fixed or something like that, you know. So they don't want, it's like you wouldn't want to be pitied upon. You would want someone to understand, sympathize, and like validate you that what you're feeling or going through is right. It's not something that you're not going crazy, you're not a lunatic, right? So there is a huge need of you know, people to understand this, and then people who are going through something, they need to come out and talk about what they are going through. And then, you know, what happens that when someone is, for example, let's just say if I have OCD, and I talk about it, what the reality of OCD is, what it is, how did I come to know I have OCD, and what compulsive behaviors I have, how can I restrain that, what is the struggles I go through. When I talk about it openly, the people who might be going through the same challenges, they don't feel isolated from the community. They feel that they have that there are people like them. This is not something to be looked down upon. There's not something like in intrinsic. There's not something very wrong with them. They're not like broken toy that needs to be fixed or something like that.
Yeah.
So when you talk about all these things openly, there's a need. They understand that this is something that can get better. You can get better through therapy, counseling, sessions, and everything. So this is a huge step that people need to take. Like, be open about it, as open as you say go to a normal doctor and you can say that, oh, I have a therapist appointment today and this is what I'm going for, this is the issue that I'm facing today.
Yeah. And one of the things that I noticed as well, and I don't know if this is just happening in India, or if maybe this is an issue that is happening in several parts of the world. I'm pretty sure it is, but I think when it comes to mental illness as well, one of the things that I saw is that women and men are not treated the same when it comes to mental illness. And I think it goes back to the root. It goes back to the same way we see men and women, or, the old way of seeing men and women. And the women that would go into the psych wards in India, some of the videos that I saw, they would have them there longer than the period of time men were there. And it was shocking because it almost seems like they didn't want to offer that extensive help they were doing to the men. And so it's almost like they want to help the men. There's this motivation to fix the men, but when it comes to the women, it's we're just gonna medicate her and keep her here. So when it comes to the women, there's definitely an issue there as well, as far as the way they're treated when it comes to mental health.
I feel that the incidents that you're talking about is like very extreme and rare that happens, because in these times people are like really it takes a lot for them to go to a therapist. I feel like opening about it and saying that you need to go to a therapist is also a huge deal. I don't know, like people still need to understand that seeking help is a sign of strength and not weakness.
Yeah.
So that is something really important. And when the examples that you're giving is usually, when it happens when a woman is going through PTSD. That is something, not everybody understands. And it's hard to deal with. It's hard to deal with.
That's a good
example. Yeah. So I feel, that is when it happens, and you kind of, like you were saying, that they are kind of abandoned. And again, everything comes down to that people not really aware. So you need to stop looking at the woman or the person as lunatic or crazy, or really need to sit down and understand why is someone behaving in the way they are.
Yeah. So when it comes to women, I definitely feel like there's a standard that women are placed on, and we're almost seen like we have to have it together at all times, and we have to be composed, and we're the ones that have to keep everything. And men especially don't take into consideration just so many different things that we're going through emotionally, just because of the way our bodies are set up. And so it's I think there's definitely, and I'm glad you brought that example, I think there's definitely an issue with that in mental health. I think maybe some of our issues that we deal with on a daily kind of affect a little bit more and affect women a little bit more. But I think we just definitely still, it goes back to changing the mentality of how men view women and how they need to be treated, and no matter what they're going through, given the same opportunity and the same respect, whether you're healthy, whether you're unhealthy, whatever the case may be. I think we just definitely need to get to a place where, you know, we're treated with the respect that we do deserve. And I don't feel that we're there yet. And not so many places in the world aren't there yet. Very, very little are. Yeah.
Like so many places that we're still fighting for a lot of basic things, and we need to explain ourselves for the basic things. So it's long struggle everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the reality, I guess.
Yeah.
And the harsh reality. But that doesn't mean that we can't do it, because we have examples of so many amazing women around the world who have done so much.
Yes.
And these are the people that we should look up to, give the women who have reached heights, their examples to give to our younger generation, and let them know that it's time that you have the steering wheel of your life in your hand.
Yeah.
It's important that you take your own decisions and not ever give your sense of individuality for anything else in your life, your career, and you set your own identity, not your relationship or the person you're going to get married to, but you set your identity.
Yeah. And I love that, because that's definitely something that I really talk about a lot. I really want women to get to a place where they focus, take control of their lives, not let it be dictated by men or, you know, relationships or family. I think we definitely, it's hard for us because we want to consider everybody else. We want to make sure that everybody's happy with the decisions that we're making versus men. Yeah, and men don't care. Like, they just, you know, leave the house, do whatever they have to do, and, you know, it is what it is. But with us, you know, we consider so many other people except ourselves. And so we need to get to a place where we're making the decisions, the right decisions, for ourselves, so that way we can progress and we can get to the next level of just women rising up. We need to get there. And so,
and finally, you know, I don't know if you would agree with this or not. If I've seen that if a man is living without really a goal or a vision, and the person is in late 20s, not really figured out what they want to do in life, or in 30s, they're still considered like, oh, this person has a lot of time because he's a man, right? Like, they can still do it. But if you are in the same age or phase of life, you would be like, oh, I think it's time for you to settle down.
Yeah.
Start a family.
Yeah.
So what's it called? The grace time or the grace period that might be given to a man is, I guess, it's not available for women. I don't know why.
Yeah.
We both are the same.
Yeah. And I feel like women are expected to, we definitely have, and I think it goes for both ways. I think both men and women have like a certain timeline that they have to do certain things by. Yeah. But I think with women especially, we're expected to be married and have kids at like, you know, this age. And if you don't have it by then, if you don't have it together by then, you know, what's going to happen? I thought I was going to be married with kids by the time I hit 25. I'm 27 now, and I'm just so like not wanting to be in a relationship, just because I've been through so many bad ones. And now I'm at a place where I'm just doing so good. I'm focused on myself, and I want to make sure that if I get in a relationship again, that person is not only the person I'm going to marry, but is also going to help me in what I'm already doing. And so I think that's how
I stand by the thought, I stand by it.
Mm-hmm. And that's how it has to be. I think women need to put themselves first. No, I'm not going to marry yet. No, I'm not going to have kids yet, because I still have things I need to do. And once you get there, then you can take on a man in your life, but not just for the purpose of getting married or having kids, but because you're going to grow an empire together and you're going to do great things together. So that's just how I process things lately. But yeah, I wanted to thank you just for taking the time to do this. We covered just some really, really great topics that I'm happy we were able to get into. I haven't had a conversation on mental health yet, so this was good. I think mental health is definitely something that needs to be spoken about more. It needs to be addressed, just because I feel like we can do relationships and have people in our lives not knowing themselves, not knowing that they're dealing with a mental health issue. And it brings another challenge and an obstacle that we are completely blind to. Unaware. And so we spend our times frustrated, fighting, because we don't know how to fix what's going on, but we don't know that it's out of our control. There's something else. And because we're not talking about it, we're not addressing these issues, it goes unspoken, and it just brings another layer of frustration and confusion, because we really don't know. And with women, we just need to respect more. Give them the same level of honor, dignity that are given to men.
We need to actually cheer for each other, like let alone men. We need to cheer for each other. Like yes. Women, I don't know, have you noticed this? Like I feel society has conditioned us or women in a way that we are in competition with each other all the time. But that's not true. Like we can coexist. Men can coexist. Like you can have and they'll all have like same respect. Nobody is in competition, but the actresses are like, okay, she's better than this, she's better than that, she's better looking, or she's whatever, something like that. Yeah. Oh, women can coexist as well. Like there are like so many beautiful, intelligent, smart women out there. So we are not in competition. We are here to cheer each other.
And I love that. And this is part of the reason why I wanted to do these interviews and kind of have this series, just because I'm one of those people that will cheer other women on to the end. Like I am not the type to see another beautiful woman and question my, beauty or identity. I think we need to get to a place where women can acknowledge and just be how would you say, just acknowledge and just be more grateful for the other women, the other beautiful women that we have, the other strong women around us, because that's at the end of the day what encourages us to become better. We need to look at other women and not in competition, but in inspiration. Like, wow, she can do that. Thank you for being an inspiration to me. I am now going to, try to do better and try to be more supportive, but not in a negative way where you question yourself, question your worth and your identity. I feel that once we do that, and with these interviews, I hope that I can reach other women in other parts of the country and we can unite together, be stronger. I think we're definitely in that day and age where women are rising up and we're, stronger. We're coming up stronger than ever before, and we just need to tweak it a little more and make it better. We need to really reach out to other countries and understand other women, other cultures, other ways of living, and understand that we're all women. We may all look differently, we may all come from different places, but at the end of the day, we're all the same. We're all sisters, and we all just need to, be stronger, reflect that strength amongst each other, and
we are all powerful.
Try to do better. Yes. So thank you again. I wanted you to kind of highlight, I know that your mom has a school in India for, you mentioned, for the unfortunate and privileged unfortunate. Are you working with any other organizations right now that you can talk about on the show?
So I'm actually just working with one organization, that is Robin Hood Army. So as I mentioned, like I was working with them during this pandemic to help them fight against hunger and donate food in the slums, because these are the people who have lost their livelihoods because of the lockdown, because they're not going out anywhere, the work, everything has stopped. So it's essential that these people are reached out to and helped. And that was the big fight that we had. We served 30 million meals in 45 days. So that is huge, and I'm really grateful actually to be a part of this. The experience was really eye-opening, that we need to be really grateful for everything that we have, and look for the ways that we can help other people, the people who are not that fortunate in their lives.
And I love that. I love what you're doing, because I think with this pandemic, a lot of people have become frustrated with what's going on, and so frustrated so that they just close their minds and completely shut off to the world and just get too into their minds and into themselves, and we're not thinking about other people that are really suffering. A lot of people are in their comfort of their homes, quarantine and eating and watching Netflix and doing all these things, but we're not thinking about the less fortunate that don't get, a roof, don't have a roof over their heads to quarantine under, don't have food to make all day long because they're stuck at home, don't have sanitizing, don't have masks, don't have all these things to help prevent the spread of this virus. So I love that you and there's another girl that I interviewed as well, that she has been going out of her way to, go into communities and reach out. And I love that you guys are doing that. It's an inspiration to me. Tomorrow I'm going to start probably brainstorming something to do in my community, just because we do need to reach out. If anything, what we need to take from this year, the lessons that we need to take are, to be more loving and caring towards other people and reach out and see where the needs are, and take this time to just really reflect and try to reach out and help. So thank you again for what you're doing. Again, you're an inspiration, and you're actually going to be competing in a big pageant next year. So you're going to go to Supranational, you're Miss Supranational India. So you should be excited.
I'm very excited. I disappointed when the pageant was postponed, but it was the need of the hour. Like, you cannot really have a pageant in the midst of a pandemic. Safety comes first. So I really hope by the time pageant is conducted, everything is really normal and I can enjoy it in the true means, in the true way it was meant to be, with people around really celebrating it.
And you're gonna have so much fun. Make sure that you just become friends. That's gonna be one of the best experiences that you're gonna have, being able to have connections with women from all across the country. Thankfully, I'm able to do these interviews because of my experiences with international pageants. I took those friendships and relations in those pageants and took them home and actually made genuine friendships out of them. So that's one of the things that I'm definitely most proud of and excited that I was able to do. So I wish you all the best. Thank you for doing this, and stay safe. And yeah.
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed it. It was an honor coming here, and I'm really glad that you're doing this series of interviews. It's really amazing.
Thank you. So hopefully when I'm in India, after this pandemic is over, we'll go dancing in the streets of Mumbai to Bollywood music. Just us, because nobody else is doing that. I'm just gonna live in my movie when I do it.
Yeah, we would definitely execute the idea.
Perfect. Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Take care.